أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لقد أرسلنا رسلنا بالبينات وأنزلنا معهم الكتاب والميزان ليقوم الناس بالقسط. صدق الله العظيم.
الحمد لله وكفى والصلاة والسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ومن يكسب إثما فإنما يكسبه على نفسه وكان الله عليما حكيما. ومن يكسب خطيئة أو إثما ثم يرم به بريئا فقد احتمل بهتانا وإثما مبينا. صدق الله العظيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. اللهم ربنا ألهمنا رشدنا وأعذنا من شرور أنفسنا. اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وأرنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. اللهم آنس وحشتنا في قبورنا وارحمنا بالقرآن العظيم. اللهم اجعله لنا إماما ونورا وهدى ورحمة. اللهم ذكرنا منه ما نسينا وعلمنا منه ما جهلنا وارزقنا تلاوته آناء الليل وآناء النهار واجعله لنا حجة يا رب العالمين. آمين. Dear brothers and sisters and sons and daughters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. As you must have noted, we are starting our study today from ayah number 111 of Surah An-Nisa. Just to have a brief review, I told you that these ayat can be grouped regarding different addresses. In Surah An-Nisa, in some passages, the address is directed towards the Muslims positively, giving them the details of Sharia, giving them how to reform the society now that it is your own society. You have your own society at Medina. You have the political authority here. Now you can enforce your own laws. Now you can reform this society in your own methods, in your own ways. Secondly, the address to the people of the book, the Jews and the Christians. Thirdly, the address towards the munafiqeen. The most important element now at Medina was that of munafiqeen, because it was the hidden enemy of the Muslims. And they had become a menace to the Muslim society and this, budding Islamic state, we may call it. Although there is no address to them directly by the words, Ya ayyuhal munafiqun, you will never find this word in the Quran. Always they are also addressed, Ya ayyuhal lazina amanu. Why? Because they profess to be Muslims. Legally they were Muslims. So they are also addressed by the words, Ya ayyuhal ladhina amanu. But when we see to the contents of the ayah, then we can understand here actually the address is to the munafiqeen. But then secondly, these three addresses, they are interspersed with each other. To review the first 43 ayat, they were positive instructions to the Muslims, how to reform the society, what is the law of inheritance, how to protect the rights of women, how to protect the rights of orphans, etc., etc. How to have a sex discipline in your society, how to finish with the sex anarchy. All these things came in the ayat, in the beginning, 43 ayat. Then there was a brief reference to the people of the book, from ayat number 44 to ayat number 57. Then two very profound ayat, again positively towards the Muslims, given the basis of the Islamic State, how to conduct the affairs of the Islamic State. يا أيها الذين آمنوا أطيعوا الله وأطيعوا الرسول وأولي الأمر منكم فإن تنازعتم في شيء فردوه إلى الله والرسول إن كنتم تؤمنون بالله واليوم الآخر ذلك خير وأحسن تأويلا. And after that starts a very long discourse, starting from ayah number 60, and it will end up in the ayah number 115. It's a continuous address to munafiqeen. And three subjects are discussed regarding them. Number one, total obedience to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. That is essential. If you profess to be Muslims, you have to obey him in all respects. Even all personal disputes that may arise between you, you have to accept him as the arbiter. You have to accept him as the judge. فَلَا وَرَبِّكَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ حَتَّى يُحَكِّمُوكَ فِي مَا شَجَرَ بَيْنَهُمْ ثُمَّ لَا يَجِدُوا فِي أَنفُسِهِمْ حَرَجًا مِمَّا قَضَيْتَ وَيُسَلِّمُوا تَسْلِيمًا. But this was very, very difficult for them to swallow. A very bitter pill to swallow for the munafiqeen. He is also a man, human being. Why should we be obedient to him? We are ready to obey Allah. But why should we be obedient to him? The same disease which today we have among the people who don't want to accept ahadith, who don't want to accept sunnah as the permanent source of Islamic law. They say, Quran is sufficient for us. We don't need anything else. The same disease is appearing among the Muslims in this form. That was the attitude of the munafiqeen or Medina. We are not ready to obey Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We are ready to obey Allah, Allah's word. Secondly, qital fi sabilillah had become a very big burden for them, risking their lives, going out to fight the enemies of Allah, risking their lives, spending their money and wealth and belongings. So we had a long discourse about that. Thirdly, and this concerned basically the munafiqeen, not of Medina, but munafiqeen at Makkah, munafiqeen in other tribes. For them, hijrah had been made obligatory. It was fard. You have to migrate to Medina now. And I told you the wisdom behind it. That now, because an offensive had to be taken against the Aimmat al-Kufr, the leaders of Kufr, they were in Makkah, the Quraysh. And for that offensive, all the human resources that were available should have gathered at one place, at the base, so that an effective offensive could be launched from there.